Tian Hao was stunned by Lu Jinian's sudden words. She stared at his back for a while in a daze, then heard his clear voice again. It rained, so the roads aren't easy to walk. Tian Hao thought Lu Jinian was worried she'd be tired from walking in such high heels. She hurriedly snapped out of it and said, a little shocked by his affection, "It's okay, I can walk. What's more, it's not too far." Lu Jinian remained crouched. "Get on." After he said this, he turned around and grabbed Tian Hao's arms. With a single swing, she landed on his back, with him holding her legs by his thighs. Then he stood up. Tian Hao was afraid of falling, so she hastily grabbed onto his shoulders. Without moving an inch, she was carefully spread across Lu Jinian's back. It was quite wide, and his footsteps were steady. His bright shoes crossed over one shallow puddle after the other. Tian Hao, who was on his back, felt an unspeakable sense of stability, and her stiff body gradually relaxed. Since it had just rained at 1 in the morning, it was quite cold. Because of the night breeze, water from the tree leaves would occasionally drip onto Tian Hao's face. Her arms and hair were cold, but her heart was particularly peaceful. Perhaps it was because Tian Hao had fallen quite a bit. After walking for about 100 meters, Lu Jinian stopped in his tracks and pushed her up. With her hands around his neck, she turned to see the perfect outline of his side profile. Tian Hao's chest pressed against Lu Jinian's back. She could feel the heat of his body through the clothes between them. A warm current flowed through her racing heart, and her hands around his neck couldn't help but stiffen up. As both of them were quite close, Tian Hao could smell a mix of tobacco on Lu Jinian's body. The look in her eyes became gentle when she called softly, "Lu Jinian." "HM?" Lu Jinian's tone of voice was as gentle as his extraordinary steady footsteps. Tian Hao stayed quiet for a minute, then quietly said in his ear, "We've been classmates for so many years." Lu Jinian didn't quite understand why Tian Hao suddenly said that, but he furrowed his brows and made a millimeters again. Then he said, including middle school, "That's 6 years. So we're considered friends, right?" Whilst Tian Hao asked this question, she randomly felt nervous and apprehensive. If they were friends, then even after Xu Jiamu left the hospital and they couldn't pretend to be husband and wife like they were now, they could still keep in contact, right? Even if he really had a woman he was in love with. Even if he persistently loved her, that woman was already married. As time goes on and the days go by, he'll need to start a family eventually. Until that time came, it wouldn't matter if he'd marry for love. If they would always keep in contact, then she would have some hope, right?